Good morning, or I guess I could say good afternoon, depending on where you are. Welcome, my name is Julie, and I am the owner of Creations by Julie. I try to go live at least once a week. We may increase that in the next week or two. For those of you that didn't follow my page before, my husband had a couple of major surgeries and he's just now recovering, so he's behind the camera. He reads my comments for me, and it makes it a whole lot easier for me just to do my craft. So if you're here, let us know you're here. Let us know if you're a newbie so I can come back and welcome you later. Tell us where you're from, a little bit about yourself, what your weather's like. If you happen to have a craft page, a business page, put that in the links so that we can go and support you too. But we're going to give everybody a few minutes to get here. Let me put on my reading glasses and make sure we're live. The way Facebook has been the last couple of months, you don't know for sure. Let me make sure that we're on here, and I may have to go out and come back in again. Ed's going to take my phone, and yeah, looks like we are. Let me turn the comments down.
Anna Robertson says hello.
Good morning or good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Okay, today, I told y'all last week or the week before, I put away all my fall stuff, but I kept this out to show you one more fall item, and we're going to talk about it. And this is just basically a very simple, very easy grapevine wreath, but it's on the smaller size.
Edna Llewellyn is watching from Northeast Georgia for the first time.
Well, welcome, Edna. Is that what you call it? Welcome, Edna. I'm so glad you're here, and I appreciate it. That if y'all would like and follow my page, we do all kinds of things, not just wreaths. We do.
Anna Robertson from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario.
Oh goodness, I wish I had some of that cool air. I bet y'all are enjoying. I'm in South Texas, and it is so humid that you just about can't walk outside. And I'm looking, it looks like it's almost 90 already out there. But welcome, ladies, and I hope you enjoy what you see, and you'll come back and follow me later. Be sure and go back and look at all the videos if you're interested in wreath making, especially because starting last January, I believe it was, we had wreath classes every week. So I tell you about the different frames and the different mesh and the different ribbons and what you use with what, and we actually made quite a few wreaths together. But today we're going to do, for sure, the last fall wreath, okay? And I never design my grapevines here at the table. I do it in the utility room, and I hang them up. So we figured the best way for y'all to get a good view is for me to stand up, and Ed's going to put the camera down, and you're going to get it from a side view. So I think you can see what I'm doing better. But I'm glad y'all are here, and welcome. We don't do a whole lot of chit-chat here. I like to just get started on the craft, show you the craft, and if you see the live button, you know you've caught me live. If it's not up there at the top of the page, then you're watching on the replay, and that's great too. Continue to comment. Let me know if you're new. I will go back if Ed misses questions, because sometimes they fly by, but I will go back and answer all the questions that you might have after the live. So let's get started. Ed's gonna, y'all close your eyes for a second. He's gonna move the camera down so that hopefully all you see is my hands and the wreath and the stuff we're gonna work with today. I'm going to move this a little bit. I'm gonna use my glue skillet today instead of my glue gun, simply because it just makes it so much easier and faster. You could use, for sure, you could use your glue gun for everything that we're gonna do. But when I'm working with a grapevine and I have stems and stuff like that, it's just faster with the glue skillet. But hopefully my glue is hot enough. Okay, today, and you'll notice, this is a small grapevine. It's 12 inches. It looks smaller than that, but it's 12 inches. You could do this same technique with, I'm trying to make sure it's in the camera.
It is.
You can do the same technique with a larger grapevine. You just need larger and a few more elements to go on it. So you're gonna need a grapevine. I think I got this from Walmart. I'm not sure, but I know I liked it because it's tightly woven. I don't know if you could see that, but you know, so many times it takes an hour to clean a grapevine when it's full of leaves. And I have bought, the last couple I've bought from Hobby Lobby have just been full of leaves.
And knots.
And knots, and you know, and that's one thing you want to check on your grapevines. You want to feel and make sure, and this one's just almost flat. You know, it's really a good thick. Now it's got its good and bad points. You still have a few that you might want to, but you want to make sure you don't have anything sharp that's going to scratch someone's door. And then you pick what side is the best. Your flattest side, of course, against the door. And I think this one has one little knot right here. So we're going to go this side. And you see you still get a few things off of it, but we're gonna go with this size as the front. Now, for this one, you're just gonna need 2 small picks. These were $2.99 at Hobby Lobby, and I'm sure I got them either 50% or 40% off. And I have just a couple of extra things here that I never know if Ed's raising his hand that somebody has a question or if he's scratching his head. So anyway, I just have this couple of things, and then I'm not putting any greenery on it. I'm going to use these fall leaves. They also came from Hobby Lobby, and I believe they were $4.99. Of course, you know I don't buy anything from Hobby Lobby unless it's on sale. And then this is the ribbon that I kept out for this one. So we're going to use this ribbon and make a simple bow. Okay, now let's talk about your grapevine for a second. Like I said, you want to make sure that there's no, you've got to clean it first. And that's one reason I liked this one. This is going to be a perfect size for an assisted living, a dorm door, a hospital room, an office, and it doesn't take a lot in supplies either. So whatever size grapevine you've got. Now if you've got a bigger grapevine, like an 18-inch or so, you're either going to need 4 picks to where you can do 2 of them together, or you're going to need a long pick, at least I would say probably a foot maybe. If I tried to do that much, it would just overpower this wreath. And that's why I went with, this is all I had, so I went with a smaller wreath. Okay, but the first thing you're going to do, you can either make your wreath. I tend to put all my stuff on the left side and leave this side open and put my bow and everything here. You can easily do this same technique, but do it to where your foliage and your things are at the top, and then you put a bow. You could do the bottom and put a bow, but I'm going to go to the side. And normally I put my greenery down first, but with this, I'm not using greenery, and I'm just going to go back in and add the picks. So you're going to take the whole pick, kind of pull it apart just a little bit, so it'll come pretty squished. So you just kind of want to move these things around, make it look a little fuller. And then I'm going to take the whole pick, you know, cut it apart or anything, take the whole pick and kind of decide about where I want it. Okay, and then kind of just leave my finger there. I'm going to dip it in my glue pot, or if you're using a glue gun, just put a good bit of glue on the edge of it, and then stick it down in your grapevine. The whole thing, okay? Now, depending, this is a small grapevine. If I was doing a large pick that really went up, I would take some wire and I would just go up and under here. I'm not going to have to do it for this one because, I mean, that's not going to go anywhere. But then you would just find a piece of your pick and take a little bit of wire and attach the pick to your grapevine to make sure that it's, because it could be top heavy. But this one, the way it's done, is going to be fine. So then I'm going to position this one to come this way, and I only want to leave room you know, maybe 3 or 4 fingers for a bow. So let's see how far this one I'm gonna have to go up. Oh, you know what? I didn't cut the tag off of that one. Let me find my scissors. Hobby Lobby's tags are the worst. They're really hard to, sometimes they're hard to find and then they're hard to get off. Let me get the tag off this one. And then I'll reach under here and get the tag off this other one, because if I don't do it now, I will forget. You don't want to see a tag on it. And I try to go between the stem and the paper and just give it a clip and get it off, okay? All right, so I'm gonna want this one to go probably about right there. Let's see if I'm gonna be able to get that in there pretty good. Or if I wanna try to go here. That's the one thing about this wreath. You could bend these picks too. Like I want it to curl a little bit, so let me kind of bend that a little. Because I want it to kind of come around my grapevine. You can position them any way you like. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to put it right up and under there. And I put a good bit of glue on these thicker stems. I'm going to slip it up and under that one, which is really going to kind of help that one also stay. And then I'm going to kind of pull it apart a little, lift it up, spread it out. This is just a really quick, inexpensive way to do them. Okay, I think that's going to probably hold it just fine. I could, and what I meant by the wire, see, I'm going to put my bow here, which will actually help hold it. But if you needed to take wire, you would just take a little piece of wire.
That's 26 gauge.
Yeah, I think it is. And you could do it all the way around if you wanted to, or you could try to get it through there, which this one's so tight, I don't think it's going to. But I have this little, I don't know if it's yarn needle, crochet needle, something. And what you do is you take it and push it through, and then pull your wire in there, and it will pull your wire through for you. Okay, and then I'll do the same on this side. And like I said, this one wouldn't have to have it, but I just want to show you how to do it if you use a bigger. See, this is really tight. If you use a larger grapevine, or, you know, which means you would use a larger. All right, see, this is a plastic.
And the larger ones are usually looser.
Oh, they're much looser, especially the ones you get from Hobby Lobby. I mean, you can see through them, they're so loose. So, you know, a tight one has its good points and its bad points. This one's just wanting to bend right there. And then I'm going to take the wire and put it through that hole. And then pull my needle through. Turn it over and then just pull it tight. You can do it either way. You can put your wire on the front or the back. You know, it doesn't matter. You're going to tuck it back in. And then just twist the wire 5 or 6 times. That's just extra. Clip it off. And then tuck it back in. You don't want to leave any showing. Okay. See, those aren't going to go anywhere. Oh, look how it bent my needle though. But we'll use that again in a little bit. Okay. So I've got my picks on there. Now I think I'm gonna make my bow, because I'm gonna put leaves all around the bow too. So we're gonna do, I think it's called a funky bow. Nick from Nick's Seasonal Decor makes them all the time. Now if I work right here, can you see my hands? And the funky bow is like one loop and two tails. So normally I wouldn't measure, but just to show you, you don't want your tails real long because this is such a small wreath, but you're gonna have twice the tails as you do loops when you do it this way. The Lisa bow that I showed you, remember, had 3 loops and 2 tails. And this you're just gonna do 1 loop. I'm gonna do them all the same color, but I'm still gonna have to cut it. But I don't want a real long. This is about 6 inches. I might even go 5. You can always cut it off, but. All right, so you're just gonna take it and make a loop, whatever size you want. If I had a lot of greenery, I would make them larger. But I think I'm just gonna make it that big, which actually is 8 inches, okay? 1 loop, twist this bottom one where it's going out like this, and then you don't have to be exact, cut it off, okay? Then you're gonna do another one, but when you make the tail, you want the tail to go this way. So then I'm just gonna pinch it, and it's gonna be a tail up this way, and my loop is gonna be down here. Let me measure it for you so we can get them. I'm gonna do all mine the same. So it's 8 inches, and then when you put it back, it's about a 4-inch loop, okay? And then you're gonna cut this end. Okay, so see, I have 2 loops, but I have like 4 tails. But I believe Nick calls it a funky bow. And then you do as many loops as you want. I'm gonna go back and start on this side with the loop, so my tail's gonna go back this way again. About the same. Bring it together into a loop. They don't have to be exact. If you want exact, you can measure, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna pull it down a little bit. This is not that hard to hold in one hand, okay? And then you're gonna twist it because you always want the pretty side of your ribbon looking at you. So you're just gonna twist it and cut it. Then I'm gonna go this way again. That one's a little bit longer, but that's okay. We're gonna cut it when we get it on the thing. And you can either twist it or make your loop where you come back under. But I twisted it, and that way my loop is gonna be this way, and the tails this way. Okay. I may want to do, no, I don't think I'm gonna do another one. So I really just did 3 loops. No, I got 4 loops, 2 on each side. But I think it's gonna be, with all the different tails sticking out, I think it's gonna be enough. But it's all one color. You could switch up the colors. I'm trying to decide which way I want to turn it. All right, I think I'm gonna do one more. But I want it down here. Just a tad smaller. I'm going to twist it. See, this is probably about all my hands could hold because this is really stiff ribbon. So I basically have 5 loops, okay? Then take a pipe cleaner, put it in half, and then just put it right between there. Pull it tight. Get it somewhat even at the back here. And then you're just gonna take it and you wanna twist your bow, your ribbon, not not the pipe cleaner. So I'm gonna take and twist the ribbon. That kind of puts it tighter. Okay, so that's what you have, which looks like a big jumbled mess. But then you just take your edges. That's why this is called a funky bow, which looks good on a grapevine with all the tails. And you just separate it, pull them out. And I don't cut it until I put it on. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and add it. See, I might have made it a little big because it's covering a good bit of, I could have moved these further apart. So I probably should have made the bow smaller. But we're gonna see which way it does best. If I do it with the loops kind of to the outside, I think that probably work better. All right, so what I'm gonna do is take my needle. I'm gonna try to get it through here somewhere. You don't really want to just go on the outside. You could, but you don't want the pipe cleaner showing. But you know, if you're just making it for your front door, you for sure could just go around the whole wreath with it. But I'm gonna try to get it to slide in here. Okay, got one of them. See, what I'm saying is you could just take it like this and put it to the outer edge, and you could put leaves around it. So that may be what I do, because I don't think you'll be able to see it. But if I was to do this again, I would do one or two things. I would either make my bow smaller, for sure. In fact, let's see something. Ed, would you go get me another pipe cleaner?
Okay.
I'm gonna make another bow. I got all this ribbon. Just, they're in those different trash bags, or trash cans in there. So we're gonna go much smaller.
I don't know where.
In the back bedroom back there on the, just keep going straight. They're right there on your left. Sorry, y'all. I thought I wasn't gonna have to send him for anything. Okay, so we're gonna go much smaller. We're gonna do 6-inch. And I'm not gonna do as many. And see, that's all part of crafting. If you don't like it, you do it a different way. But see, probably what I should have done is left more space here. Okay, we're not gonna do near, we just, about all you saw, thank you. About all you saw was the bow and not the picks. So we're just gonna do another bow. Okay, y'all get to see it again, only we're just going smaller. So we're gonna do this away now. So how many of y'all had started doing something and then, I think I've only had one craft that I was playing with and ended up throwing the whole thing in the trash. I was trying to make a pumpkin out of lids to jars, and I just didn't like the way it looked. Okay, that's just gonna kind of be a hint of a bow, but it's gonna be so much better than that big bow. Okay, so let's do this again.
Big bow's pretty.
Yeah, I'll use it probably not this year, unless I make another big one and sell them. It was just too big for this wreath. So we went small. All right, remember, turn your ribbon. This one will work much better. All right, let's go back in here. idea was good, it was just too big. Now this one I don't really want, because it's smaller. I don't really want to see that pipe cleaner. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm just pulling the needle through, and it's pulling my pipe cleaner through. And then take the needle loose. I gotta figure out how to turn that back the way it's supposed to be. All right, then we're gonna turn it over, pull it tight, and give it about 5 or 6 twists. There again, you wanna cut it off and tuck it back in. Just take it and tuck it back in here, so that you don't have anything sharp. Okay, then after I do that is when I kind of straighten and fluff my bow. And once I do that, then I will cut the ends, and I'm gonna dovetail them, which means you fold it and you start from the, let's turn it this way. Cut from the folded edge out. And just take your fingers and curl them. Folded edge out. And the length doesn't matter, it's just what you like. Don't y'all agree that this bow's gonna look much better than the other one? All right. And I have cut the ribbon the wrong way. Just think folded edge out. And you just kind of guess. I mean, this is where you get creative. Everybody's different. Do it the way you like it. The length you like it. Okay, now that I've got my bow, which looks so much better than that huge one. The huge one's pretty because it's pretty ribbon. Okay, doesn't that look much better? Can y'all see it?
Yeah, if I don't knock the camera over.
Okay, I'm making a mess with the grapevine, but that's okay. All right, now I have these leaves, and of course I know they're not going to use, you know, the whole stems. I'm just going to cut off a few, or pull them off, whatever. And this is where, I tell you all the time, this is where you get creative. Do what you like. Use the embellishments that you have, that you like. There's no right or wrong way. Now if you're putting in flowers, which would be pretty on this too, but I didn't get any of them, any out. I usually try to stick to the rule of odd numbers. You want to put 3, 5, or 7. You know, I don't usually like to do. See, I just went ahead and cut all the leaves off. I may not use them all, but they're cut. And then I found this one little thing here that I can add somewhere. I may put it down here, but I'm going to do it last. And I had one pumpkin. It's all I pulled out. I think I had more than that. So you just kind of start taking your leaves, putting a little glue on them, and kind of go up and under. You don't want everything facing the same way, and this is the bad thing about all the glue strings. But as a little tip, you can take a hairdryer when you're finished and just run a hairdryer over it. And it'll get the glue strings. So my glue has cooled off. But I'm just going to start sticking a few, and I'm going to kind of work on both ends. I'll do that end, and then I'll do this end. This is why I didn't put any greenery, because I knew I was gonna add the leaves around my pick. You could add greenery if you wanted to. You could add more to your pick. It's just up to you. I just wanted to show you a very inexpensive way. Okay. But I always kind of place it there first and see exactly where I want it. And then I'll go back and just add. See, I'm not gonna do anything over here. What?
Judy Smith says hi there. Don't tell anybody, but I'm at work.
Oh, hey Judy. Just turn the volume down.
See your gray hair.
Do you? Okay, I better not bend over like that then. But hey, it's gray all over, so.
You paid for that gray.
I did. I worked hard for it. And you'll probably play with your bow and your ribbon a lot. Let's see if we want to put a little leaf in our bow here. Now see, if I had helped out some other picks or something, I would have added more berries, or pine cones. I do have some pine cones in there, but you wouldn't have to.
That looks good.
I mean, it's small, but it's perfect.
It's simple.
It's perfect for a office or a dorm or a hospital room, you know. Put a little brightness in a hospital room. And I usually just add and add and add and overdo, but that's me. And I'm going to bring it down a little bit further just by using these leaves. Like that. And if you put leaf on top of a leaf and stuff, it just gives it a little more dimension. Makes it look a little thicker, 3D. You always want to look at it, pick it up and look at it from the side too. Make sure that everything is covered. Like, you know, even stick a few like this down into it at an angle so it's covered. All right. Now you could take the pumpkin and just put it kind of in the middle of your bow. This pumpkin may be a little bit too big for that. You could put it down here. You could nestle it right there. But I really think instead of the pumpkin, I probably, since I don't have two of them, I don't want to use just one. I might would have used it in a bigger bow, but I think I'll probably find some more pine cones and put in it. And this I just kind of feel needs to go. And it looks like it came off of a pick like this. It just kind of needs to go right in here somewhere. So I'm gonna make it a little shorter. To me, this right here just looks a little bare. So we're just gonna put some glue on it, lift these up and stick it right down in there. And I don't think I'm gonna use the pumpkin. But you certainly could. You could add as much as you want to, but I think I'm going to, probably go find some little. I'll be right back. Y'all hang on. I did say about some. I remembered I had this bag that has some different things in it that I hadn't taken to the shed yet, so let's see if there's anything in here we want to add.
You've got a lot of stuff in it.
You think it's enough, huh?
I think it's plenty.
I think these are too bright. It would give it a little bit more, what's the word, a whimsical look. Just to put a few more berries on it. Because those are dark. Those would look okay, so I may do a couple of these. But you just add and you stop when you want to stop. What?
You put a lot of stuff on it.
Yeah, but you haven't got much money in it. That's what's good. I think the pine cones that I have might be too small, but no, they're not. See, I have a tendency just to, that's what Ed's talking about. I just keep adding stuff. But that's me. And I know it. But we're just gonna put a couple of little twigs here and there. Okay, let's see. I like the acorns. Of course, the little pine cones you can stick anywhere. And you can get the bags of pine cones. Tons of pine cones in them in Hobby Lobby. But I think we're probably about done. Okay, you definitely could stop. That was just, and I didn't use but maybe half of the leaves on that thing. See, I'm still adding. A lot of times what I have to do is just hang it up and then, you know, go back later and look at it. And then you know, well, yeah, okay, I need something right there, or sometimes I'll just put stuff on it if I'm unsure, and I won't glue it in, and then I just walk away from it for a little while. And then you go back. And okay, so what do y'all think?
Wait a minute.
Ed thinks it has plenty on it.
I stopped 10 minutes ago.
But you can see how you can just take the picks. And like I said, if you've got the longer picks, it would just come on around. But this wreath didn't need big picks. It needed the little ones. But the bow's much better smaller, don't you think? Don't you think, Ed?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was it for today. And I'll put a hanger on it. I'll probably just take a pipe cleaner and twist around it and put on it. So that's it for today. That I just wanted to show you. I'll sit back down. So he likes to show my face. I don't like to show my face. But I appreciate y'all sticking with us today. And next week we'll probably do something towards the end of the week. My mom turns 90 next week, and so we're leaving this weekend and we're gonna go celebrate with them. So probably towards the end of the week, next week, I'll come on and do another live. But I will send a message out before I do. So, what?
Pat Powers said she loves it, it's beautiful.
Thanks, Pat. And see, you still, even now, could turn it this way, this way. You know, if I don't put a hanger on it, somebody could turn it any way they wanted to. Put it on a door hanger. I just have a tendency to do mine on the side, but it's just perfect size. I may give it away, who knows, but it's a perfect size for an office or an apartment door or an assisted living door, you know, those smaller doors. It would get lost on a big front door, of course, but you know, it would be pretty if you have double doors, and to put one with it on this side, and then one over here with it on the other side. Just mirror this would be really pretty on double doors. So I appreciate y'all being with me today. I hope you have a great day, and I think what I'm going to do next week, we're going to start working on some magnolia stencils. I got my craft kit in this week, and I want to do the craft with y'all and show you what comes in a kit. If you haven't heard about it, Magnolia has started a monthly craft kit. You get everything in the box that you need to make a project, and it's different every month. And it's like $19.95 or something like that, and $5 shipping. But I'm going to open my box and make the craft for this month and show you some things with it. So y'all have a great day. I will go back and read your comments later. I appreciate you being here. We will see you next week. Bye.